Let's take a look at some business stories now. Electricity consumers can breathe a sigh of relief, but it's likely to be short-lived. During public hearings on Eskom's proposed tariff hike today, it's emerged that the regulator NERSA is not planning to approve any further hikes this year. But that was the news to the acting CEO of Eskom, Molefe. Eskom was granted a tariff hike of 12.7% in April, but it argues that it desperately needs an additional hike on top of that. The additional increase, if granted, will take the total to more than 22%.
Eskom claims it needs 50 billion rand to reduce load shedding. 32.5 billion would be pumped into buying diesel, funding the power utility says it needs immediately.
The new build program has been delayed and our generation fleet is very old and has a maintenance backlog.
However, the regulator threw a spanner in the works. This letter from Finance Minister Nhlanhla states any decision that NERSA makes after May 2015 will need to be deferred to the 2016-2017 municipal financial year. Molefe claims he has no knowledge of the circular which went out exactly a month ago.
Even if Eskom gets to table the other increases in Parliament, they can only effect them on 50% of the population, which will then be price discrimination. That's why the gentleman was saying that even if we can make the decision, but implementing that decision will be impossible and will result in price discrimination. So on that basis, you can't make a decision that causes price discrimination.
This could force Eskom to seek alternative funding, and little sympathy from stakeholders here at the hearings. Smelters say an increase could lead to 200,000 job losses, while the Chamber of Mines says the industry is already facing a sustainability crisis.
The municipalities cannot pay these increases. The customers cannot pay these increases.
Another proposal which many believe should have been implemented years ago is that Eskom be privatized. The ANC is currently debating the China option. That's where part of Eskom would be owned by the private sector while government retains the majority. By listing it, it's able to capitalize the utility. NERSA has to connect the right wires here. Should it grant the short-term tariff hike, only for Eskom to apply for another hike further down the line. This creates economic uncertainty. The IMF says the power supply crisis is the main obstacle to economic growth. Aldrin Simpier, SABC News, Nasrec in Johannesburg.